So the big question of the day is, are illegal Haitians eating the pets of Springfield residents in Ohio? We're going to get into the video and you can decide for yourself.
Done with what I'm seeing. It is so unsafe in my neighborhood anymore. I have the homeless that were trying to camp out, and I have made concessions with them, and I try to help them the best I can to keep them from trying to squat on my property. But it is so unsafe. I have men that cannot speak English in my front yard screaming at me, throwing mattresses in my front yard, throwing trash in my front yard. And I can't. Look at me, I weigh 95 pounds. I couldn't defend myself if I had to. My husband is elderly, and last night, after living in this home for 45 years, he said, Noelle, guess what? It's time to pack up and move. He said, we can't do this anymore. He said, it's killing both of us mentally. I don't understand what you expect of us as citizens. I mean, I understand they're here under temporary protected status, and you're protecting them, and I understand that our city services are overwhelmed and understaffed, but who's protecting us? If we're protecting them, who's protecting me? I want out of this town. I am sorry. Please give me a reason to stay.
You guys are just sitting.
First of all, she doesn't have to help them do anything. The elected Democrats that allow this to happen, lock your doors, call the cops 1,000,000 times, arm yourself legally, and that's it. It's not your responsibility to help them. And this makes my blood boil when I hear somebody that's been in the same house for over 50 years is now going to leave their home because of, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden's insane, incompetent border policies where they just let 22 million people into the country, unvetted, unchecked criminals who they're also letting terrorists into the country. And Kamala Harris, last night during the debate, she'll just sit there and laugh, look over at Trump and bat her eyelashes and be like, that's ridiculous. You're so extreme saying these people are eating ducks and pets. Well, we'll let this guy right here get into if pets are being eaten, and he's running for town council in Ohio.
Sitting up there and like I really challenge you guys to get out here and do something. These Haitians are running into trash cans. They're running into buildings. They're running into they flipping cars in the middle of the street. And I don't know how, y'all can be comfortable with this. I don't know, who's getting paid from it. I honestly feel like someone's getting paid from it in the background. You got a bunch of people on a bus getting dropped off at a gas station to come down here. I know a single mom that FaceTimed me this morning at the welfare office that really need something. And it's nothing but immigrants over there. They're in the park grabbing up ducks by their neck and cutting their head off and walking off with them and eating them and it's going to get bigger and it's only going to get worse.
So you just heard what the man said, right? He's running for office over here in Springfield, Ohio. And he just said that Haitians are in the park, illegal Haitians, let's make that clear, not legal residents, illegal Haitians are in the park grabbing ducks, cutting their heads off and eating it. So when Trump says this, what happens? Oh, he's an extremist. He's racist. What color is this man right here in front of you? Because he doesn't look Caucasian to me. And he's telling you that these illegals are grabbing the ducks, cutting their heads off and eating them. So is he lying too? Right, Kamala? You know why Kamala Harris and Joe Biden and the rest of these elitist Democrats don't care? And you know why they don't care about any of you? They don't care if you were all murdered. You know why? Because they don't live in your neighborhood and they never will. And they're only looking at these people as potential future Democratic voters. And they don't care if they kill Americans. They could care less.
Y'all sitting up there in these chairs. All y'all need to get out here and do something. Y'all making hundreds of $1,000s. Y'all need to put on a t-shirt and some Crocs. And then y'all need to come out here in these streets and y'all need to go out here and I'm out here before the police is. Y'all need to do something, bro. Y'all really got to stand on business. Y'all getting paid all this money just to wear a suit and sit in a chair. I think it's crazy, bro. That's where they come from and that's what they do. That's their country. I don't know what they got going on over there.
Anthony Harris, I know you're talking honestly and I know you're talking from the heart and you're very genuine, no doubt about it. But unfortunately, running for office and talking like how you're, because Trump talks the same way, I talk the same way. The only thing that's going to happen is when you run, they're going to use this against you. Take off your hat, take off the hoodie, write down what you're going to say, go down the list, and try to be calmer. I'm not telling you that because I'm mocking you. I'm telling you that because I do the same thing. Trump does the same thing. And all Democrats do is turn around and weaponize your emotions and your positivity and your energy and your ability to tell the truth, and they use it against you. It doesn't matter if you're telling the truth, right? So they'll be like, oh, he's speaking with emotion, he's unhinged, he's coming off the rails. Meanwhile, every word out of your mouth is the truth, but you have to put it down a different way.
But they can't do that over here. And if y'all just get paid from it and then y'all ain't doing nothing about it, I think that's super weird, bro. Y'all gotta stand on business. Y'all gotta really step up. It's lame, bro. For real.
Thank you for your comments.
Thank you.
Driving around Springfield, I was looking at the giant holes in some of our buildings. I noticed all of the old familiar spots bearing new signs in an unfamiliar language. I watched as groups of strangers walked around the city like lost tourists, and it was like a punch in the gut. A terrible sadness came over me, and I began to cry. I immediately started to think back to when I was little, walking from my grandma's house on South Fountain through downtown and all the way to Snyder Park. I feel like we have been invaded by some sort of pest. I'm angry that my friends and family are packing up and moving away. I'm angry that foreigners are using up the resources that were set up for the Americans that reside here. I'm angry that another country...
Oh, and don't worry. Every subsidized they get, the welfare, the free housing, the free healthcare, the vouchers, the cars. I mean, they're in the country for a week. They already have cars. How is that? And I see it around here. All the illegals that are in my neighborhood somehow got a job at Grubhub and DoorDash, and they're giving them cars to drive to do their job. So this will be all in the taxpayer. So Kamala Harris's plan for equity is to take every hard-working American's money and give it to people who broke the law, and then they come into the country. As soon as they get here, they're given everything, and the American taxpayer will pay for it.
Country's flag was being flown in our city. I'm angry when I see our businesses and recreational areas littered with garbage left by people that do not know or understand our laws and culture and are making no attempt to learn about them. And let me be clear, this is not about race. This is about people being given the privilege of coming here from another country and having no respect for our people, our land, or our life's work.
I gotta get into this garbage thing. There's an area around here that's flooded with illegals, and the amount of garbage on the ground is just like, you're like, what the hell happened here? It was never there before until a certain illegal population kept getting dropped off there, and now there's this much. There's literally 6 inches of garbage covering the entire shopping center. And if somebody wants to call me a liar, that's fine. I'll go down there, I'll take video of it, and I'll put it up for you, and we can go from there.
People living their life here the way they did in Haiti. Angry, stealing, polluting, living in filth, and acting like animals. These are not civilized people. Opening containers in our grocery stores, helping themselves to what's inside, and throwing the rest onto the shelves and floors. Pulling off of the highway to publicly clean and gut the roadkill lying there in front of anyone that passes by. Stealing animals from farmers and leaving their severed heads at the side of an old school where children play. Relieving themselves in public, making some barbaric stew out of the birds that live in our park. This is insanity, and it has to stop. What will become of Springfield? Where will we be in 5 years? The thought terrifies me.
There have been first-hand reports of wrong-way drivers on one-way street, drivers ignoring stop signs and red lights and other traffic issues. There is the impact on businesses having to deal with language, cultural differences. There is the strain on public resources, both governmental and private services, including health.
I'm taking my cart down the grocery aisle, and I had 3 immigrants strapped across the aisle. Seen me coming, would not budge, wouldn't even, and I said, excuse me. Maybe they didn't understand what I was saying, but I'm sure they understood that I was trying to get through that aisle. So I have no recourse now but to bust through it. I'm not afraid to do so. You know, I would like to see them have some common respect, some common decency. Do not try to bully your way through Springfield, Ohio. It's not going to work out well.
Having thousands of new immigrant neighbors move into our city during the past few years has been stressful and overwhelming, but I am hopeful for a shared future with them. Speaking from personal experience, our Haitian neighbors and other newcomers I have met have been kind, grateful, hardworking people who want to play a positive role in our community.
Well, I guess this is a positive. You know what she could do? She can let all them move in, board with her, and live on their front lawn. Instead of, all the other people that have to be bothered. There's people like her and many others, right? I'm sure she's a liberal. All the illegals that are camping out on other people's front lawns who don't want them camping on their front lawns or eating their pets, they can all come live with you and live on your front lawn. Great idea.
They are students, employees, business owners, and consumers who are contributing to our city.
Well, there you have it. Those are the residents of Springfield telling you the truth. That pets are being eaten, that, properties are being invaded, that people are camping out on, illegals are camping out on their front lawns and think that they own the place. So let me guess Kamala Harris, let me guess Joe Biden. If you're saying what I'm saying, you're just an extremist, right? Didn't Kamala Harris just laugh last night when Trump confronted her with illegal Haitians eating people's pets? She just laughed it off and said, that's a bit extreme. Well, what else would you expect from Kamala Harris? She hasn't been to the border, and she definitely hasn't been to Springfield, Ohio.